Good morning, friends. This is my third video on this subject, and I'll be starting with Unit 2 here. This unit is about design and development of web pages. I'll be going through the topics in brief here. See, what is a browser? Browser is a software which helps you to access the internet. Okay, these are some of the examples of browser: Internet Explorer, then Google Chrome, then Firefox, and many more. Then what is cookie? Cookies are actually the data stored on the web browser. You search some website and then you'll move to some web pages, suppose within the website. Then the website will know which pages you are recently looking for, in which page you are looking for a long time. All those data will be stored in your web browser on your system. So next time when you log into that website, it may directly show you the page which you were looking earlier for long time. So cookies are used to make the website more user friendly, kind of. But there are also known as third party cookies. These are created by the advertisements in that website, and that might be harmful. Browser uses HTTP protocol to establish the communication between the browser and the web servers. Web server is a place where all your softwares, free download softwares, data, everything is stored. But you cannot access web server directly. So your computer will act like a client. Now you have got a browser, and then through browser you can access the web server. And there are steps involved in that. See, this is the step. See, this is the user, and this is the web server. See, a web server always wants IP address to give you the data. But it is not comfortable for us to remember the IP address. It is easy and it is comfortable to remember a web address like this. For example, Amazon.com. So when he searches for Amazon.com, the query will go to the DNS server. DNS server will give the IP address for this website. Then from that IP address, your computer will access the web servers and give you the data. And this is known as HTTP protocol. The communication from web browser is always through HTTP protocol. This is client server model, and this is important. What is this client server model here? For example, in your college, suppose you want to update your student record, say your phone number. You want to update your phone number in the student record maintained by your college. So you will go to the office, you'll ask someone there, and he will update it for you. Next time you'll go to someone else who has some other system, and if you cross check there, you can see that your phone number is updated. Though you have updated in this computer, you can see that it is updated here as well. This is possible because whatever the changes you make, it will not be stored on the local computer. Instead, it will be stored in the backend server. So these all things will act as a client, and the server has the updated information, and all the clients will get information from the server. So this is known as client server model. It's used very widely, and even it is used in email, Facebook. They all follow this client server model. Even if you go to internet, browsing shops, internet cafes, there as well, they'll have one server, and all the systems that you use act as clients. Now the next topic is URL. This is the example for URL. Suppose www.tutorialspoint.com. So this whole thing, this is the URL. URL has three elements: scheme, host address, and file path. See, this is the scheme. HTTPS is the scheme. Now this tutorial www.tutorialspoint.com, this is known as the host address, and then it may be followed by something like this: HTML/index. This is known as the file path. See, when you enter a website, suppose tutorialspoint.com, and you click on some other tab there, you can see that file path will change. So next, the topic I'll cover is the SEO technique. What is this SEO? SEO stands for search engine optimization. See, suppose you create a YouTube channel. Assume you create a YouTube channel, and you'll always want that to appear first when someone searches. Okay, if someone searches for IT skills, I want my YouTube video to appear first. So it means that I want mine to be ranked one. So in whichever position it appears, that is the rank of my YouTube channel. So if it appears as the second one, first one is someone else's and mine is second, then the rank of that YouTube video is 2, like that. So everyone who creates any YouTube videos or any websites, he always wants him to be on the top. So that is known as SEO ranking. So there are techniques to increase the ranking of your content, I mean your web pages. So those techniques we'll discuss here. There are two types of SEO technique. One is the white hat SEO and another is the black hat SEO. See, white hat SEO means this is the proper way to increase the ranking of your website, and black hat SEO means you're doing unethical ways so that it appears on the top. In white hat SEO, you give good content in the website, you use proper keywords, proper tags relevant to your website, then it will appear top. So that's about white hat SEO. Now you know how the SEO technique works, how that algorithm works, and you know which keywords are given higher ranking, and you use those keywords though it is not relevant to your website. So those kind of unethical ways of increasing the ranking of your website is known as black hat SEO. Now the next topic is domain name system architecture. See, this domain name system architecture consists of three things. One is the domain names, then domain namespace, and the name server. See, these are the domain names: .com, .edu, then .in, .uk, etc. And domain namespace means there is a hierarchy for all the domains. See, most of the education websites may come under .edu. So this is the hierarchy you follow. The website will look something like .cs, .berkeley, .edu. Now how DNS works. This we have already discussed in earlier section. This part is that host. It means that you are the client. Your client system sends the IP address to the name server, and then the name server will, the host will send the website address in this form, in form of letters, to the name server, and it will send you the IP address for that particular website. This diagram shows the working of that. It is known as domain name resolution. It will show the domain name resolution in detail. So see, here we are not fetching the data. That is, web servers will have the free softwares, free and other data. We are not fetching the data. We just want some domain name like amazon.com to be resolved into its IP address. So only that process is happening here. This is your computer client. Now you will send a request to the domain name server. So the domain name server has almost for 98% of your queries, it has the IP address. So it will give you in its cache, it has it in its cache, and it will give you the IP address directly. Suppose it doesn't have, then it will it will request these servers to give you the IP address for your request, that is amazon.com. So it will first go to the root server, then it will go to the top level server, DNS server, and finally the authoritative name server. This will give you the final result. So whatever you get, that DNS will pass to your client. At the same time, it will update its cache with your new query. That is, for what amazon.com, whatever the internet IP you got, that also will be stored now, so that next time you when you search the same website, it don't have to follow all this procedure. So that is all for today. Tomorrow we'll see how to write HTML code. So if you want to refer this book, you can buy it online. I'll share the link in the description. I'm one of the authors for this book. I'm Gayatri RS. Signing off. Bye bye. Take care.